Dankeschön. Dankeschön, Herr Raphael Frecken. The next speaker is a true-blooded Sierra Leone, son of the soil, born in Lokomasama, raised partly in Blama and Yele in Tonkolili. He did secondary school, part of it in Kono district. Then came to Freetown, finished off at the Ahmadiyya Secondary School. Went to the Athens of West Africa, the Furabe College. He studied and graduated in political science and international relations. He went on to do his postgraduate studies at the University of Bordeaux in France. He graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy in political science. He was picked up by the UN and sent to the most conflict-ridden station. He was in Mali. And from there, he was sent to Kosovo. From there, he went to Bosnia. And he also came back to Mali. And that was where he was when His Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone, when he was fighting to become President of Sierra Leone, decided that the person he believes that could run with him, as a running mate for the presidency of Sierra Leone, and he chose him to be his running mate. His Excellency, the Vice President, has been continuously the Vice President of Sierra Leone from 2018 to present. He was selected in this very hall for the second term of His Excellency, the Vice President, without any condition. His Excellency excelled himself in supporting His Excellency's agenda of the new direction, and the agenda for the feed salon project and the human capital development. His Excellency, the Vice President, has a lot of he's picked up a lot of practice as an acting president for nearly 40 times at least. It's the highest number any vice president has ever done in Sierra Leone. And he's the vice president who has never, ever had any issues with his superior, the president. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Her Excellency, the Vice President of Sierra Leone, Honorable Juldeh Jalloh. That applause is too low-key.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Kindly sit down, please. Mr. Chairman, honorable ministers, honorable members of parliament, our distinguished guests, our sisters from supporting institutions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me, on behalf of His Excellency the President, the government and people of Sierra Leone, welcome all of you to Freetown. For me, personally, I'm here today to represent His Excellency. I want to take this opportunity to thank the organizers and stakeholders for choosing Sierra Leone to host such a very, very important regional conference. Madame, Messieurs, mes chers frères et sœurs, je voudrais, au nom de son Excellence, Dr. Julius Madabio, vous souhaite bienvenue en Sierra Leone. J'aimerais tellement lire mon discours en français pour montrer notre solidarité avec vous, avec nos chers frères et sœurs. Mais si je continue, je risque d'avoir un problème national parce que mes compatriotes vont me dire le président n'a pas parlé anglais. Mais je voudrais vous souhaiter la bienvenue dans une capitale qui nous tient tous à cœur, où le chairman vient de dire qu'on a créé la première université en sous-saharienne en 1827. Ça, c'est le Frobe College. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for us in Sierra Leone, it is a privilege to showcase the progress we have made over the years in land governance. And I want to use that opportunity to personally thank the leadership of that ministry, Dr. Turat Senesi and his deputy, for making Sierra Leoneans and the world to know that Ministry of Land is not about selling land, it is about land governance. And I want to thank the Honorable Minister for that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this 5th Regional Conference of National Land Institutions on securing community land rights in Africa is yet another major step in our effort to promote viable land governance in the African continent. This is taking place against the backdrop of the growing recognition by African government and regional institutions to secure land rights of local communities and indigenous people as one of the key drivers of social stability and sustainable economic development. We want to applaud, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the several efforts that have been made over the years at the continental level to support land reforms in Africa, and in particular, community land rights agenda. In Sierra Leone, for example, we have built the architecture to help government implement fully regional and continental commitment. I must say, Sierra Leone continues to benefit from the several platforms and initiatives such as the Rights Resources Initiative Platform, the African Land Policy Center, the International Land Coalition, the African Land Institution Network for Community Rights, ALIN. Sierra Leone, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, continue to pass and implement progressive land laws, such as the 2020 customary land right. Equally, we continue to make progress in digital transformation of land governance. We try to position land reforms on governance as a major vehicle of investment. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, chers frères et sœurs, despite this effort, there are still enormous challenges to cope with the ranging challenges from weak policy environment to limited technical and financial capacity. However, these challenges underline the immense importance of such platforms to highlight the progress we have made so far, share information and experience, and more importantly, keep land rights agenda in the limelight. We do hope that this conference will provide the opportunity for government, land institutions and agencies, including key partners, to share and exchange information on varying national contexts and best practices on land governance. The conference is also expected to constitute a stock-taking exercise regarding institutional performance and also develop viable strategies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also encourage participants to share ideas on emerging trends that have immense importance and impact on land governance. First, I want to share with you some of these trends. First, preliminarily, is the increasing need to promote investment to drive growth. Today, we all know that the international development aid regime is closing down on Africa. Today, development assistance windows are closing. So as a result, African countries are forced to look inward to be able to build domestic revenue resources. And make no mistake, if we want to hold up, if we want to increase domestic resources, we need to drive investment and trade, boost domestic production, and at the core of unleashing the potential of the productive sector is land governance. So how do you balance the need for investment with land rights governance? That is a very important question for us and for generations yet to come. Secondly, is the increasing threat of climate change. Today, there's a threat for increase, there's a rush for increased fertile land. There's also movement of people that have been affected by climate change. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, how do we cope with the threats of climate change in the face of limited availability of land? How do you transfer potential sources of conflict, poverty, into renewed opportunity for livelihood support and investment? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am confident, like so many of you, that the next couple of days will be an exciting period for you. And I want to say here categorically, make no mistake, land governance is and will continue to be the most important issue for generations to come. And on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, Son Excellence le Président de la Sierra Leone, pour donner une opportunité d'ouvrir le 5e conférence régionale, and also to wish you a fruitful deliberation. Merci beaucoup. Obrigado. Assalamu alaikum.
Another round of applause for articulate Vice President. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think the theme of your statement this morning is balancing the need for investment, protecting the rights of indigenous people. And I think that is what this whole alliance is set. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that very inspiring speech. And I know it's also a framework for the guidance for the Ministry of Lands and Country Planning. Let me use this opportunity before we go to the photo session with the Vice President. Let me use the opportunity to recognize our traditional leaders who are here. Paramount Chief David Mandu Fale Kaile Kumba of Kaila. Paramount Chief Fayasu Dufupe Sobula IV of Moyamba. Paramount Chief Mada Alex Kaipung of Bo. Paramount Chief Desmond M. Kagobai of Bo. Oh, that clap for Chieftain. They come up and they get this country. When they are here, the whole country is here. Paramount Chief Desmond M. Kagobai of Bo. Paramount Chief Shaku A.K.M. Kuroma, Puja. Paramount Chief Bahuru Mansare III, Konaduk. Paramount Chief Kumpa Bomboli III, Port Loko. Paramount Chief Al-Hayi Al-Husseini Al-Mami Suri II, the Gambia. Paramount Chief Bero Mabole Ansheni III, Bombali. Paramount Chief Al-Haji Musa Bamba Furi, Julio Jalloh III, Tonkolili. Paramount Chief Kande Kagbo Kafar II, Lokari. Paramount Chief Al-Haji Sekou Fino, Kale Marada V, Falaba. Paramount Chief Edward Sa Mbawa III, Kono. Paramount Chief Madame Mariama Jawad Tamiya, Kennedy. Paramount Chief Fudi Musa Bukbutu, Kaila. Paramount Chief Almami Fudi Jan, Koinadu. Paramount Chief Fasuluku, Tukutambu. Kono. Paramount Chief Rogers? Pujawo. Paramount Chief Masakma. Paramount Chief Masakma. Masakma no dey, I don't make mistake now. Masakma is late. The regent is here.
No, it's not the regent.
Already.
Paramount Chief of? Kapen.
Paramount Chief Masakma Madibi.
Oh, Masakma Madini. Yes, yes, of course, there are two Masakmas. Welcome. PC Fangawa. Okay. We thank you all for coming. It is now my pleasure to please kindly ask His Excellency the Vice President and also Acting President for today, is representing the President at the same time, to please come upstairs and have some photo sessions with the participants here. I would now call Ms. Josephine Bangura, Protocol, Deputy Director of Protocol from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, to organize that.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join the Honorable Vice President here, the Minister of Lands and Country Planning, the President of the RRI and RRG, the African Union, the GIZ, German, the World Bank, the country rep for GIZ. The second batch to join the Honorable Vice President are all heads of delegation from the Allen Conference, all heads of delegation. Please prepare.